All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special game. This is the Division A Championship between the Katarina Wine Mixer and Team Solo Legends. I'm your host, Faoline here, going to be calling the play-by-plays for you. I am joined by two excellent casters, Rylan and APXSXX. I hope I said that right.
Pronounced abscess, but we'll go with it.
Hey, all right, abscess. That's way better than what I had said. How you boys feeling today about the cast, man?
Pretty good. I'm really excited for this upcoming game right now. It's a division championship, so that's always something extra, and it's a pretty high elo game, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, same here as well. Pretty excited. First time casting, but definitely a high elo game. Two very, very dedicated teams going head-to-head, and I'm excited to see how it unfolds.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that I'm curious to see as well is we do have Diamond ranked players currently. There's a Diamond 2 player looking like they're going to be the ADC for Team Solo Legends. So to me, this is going to be packed with a lot of intense team fighting. We're not going to see a whole lot of questionable plays. This should be a really exciting cast for you guys.
Very much agreed. I noticed that the higher the elo goes, it's actually people know how to farm properly, and there's not as much engagement at the early, unless there's a gank or an invasion or something like that. But definitely excited to see how this unfolds. The higher the ranks are, the more interesting it gets, seeing the higher skill levels play against each other, who can outplay who.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we are just waiting for the final teammates to join up here and get into a ready check. Now, what is interesting, we do have, it's 1:02 Pacific Daylight Time. If by 1:07 the final teammate does not join, then they will lose a ban. So hopefully the last teammate can get her, ready to go. That way they don't lose out on that crucial ban, because at this elo, it is very important to get all your bans in.
It is very, very important to get your bans in, especially at this elo. I very much so second that.
Good deal.
I just asked them right now if they know if their fifth is coming, just in case. Don't want to put them in the position of having to... Oh, he is here.
Oh, he's just in the spectator for some reason.
Spectator. I'm not sure what that's about, to be honest.
He doesn't want to go.
I guess not.
They're going over something. Okay. Well, we'll give them a little bit of leeway. They still have 4 minutes, so we're not going to be the hall monitors here on that. We'll just let them.
I'm just letting them know, so because if they do get to that 107 mark, they are going to lose that ban, and I'm not sure if a lot of teams know about that necessarily. So try to keep them informed, I guess.
Absolutely. All right, so in the chat, listen, this is a Division A Championship game. You already see the chat kind of popping off here. Let me know if you're a Team Solo Legends fan or if you are a Katarina Wine Mixer fan. Let's light it up in the chat. They need your energy.
Now, is Team Solo Legends Team 2 or Team 1 right now?
Looks like they are Team 2.
They're Team 2 already.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know if Spiritless, it's his account that he is currently on, do you know if that is a Smurf or that's his main account?
I'm honestly not sure.
I feel like, okay. Well, never mind. Since this guy joined up, it makes the ranks a little more even then.
Yeah.
I believe they're just getting into order of positioning right now, and then we should be good to start in just a moment.
Okay, so we did get a confirmation that Spearless is the main account. One thing that's interesting to see here, a little bit of different disparities. So we do have a gold level ADC going up a silver. Now, basically, before you get into Plat 4, everything below that is considered somewhat low elo. And right now, ADCs, it's very difficult for them to have any agency in the game. So I'm not really too concerned by the tier difference here between the ADCs.
ADCs.
Oh, you're good. You're good. No, you're good, man.
ADCs and bot lane are a very, very interesting matchup, just for the sole fact that you could have a not so good ADC and an amazing support and still win the lane because of having that amazing ADC. And ADCs are actually getting buffed. Like you said, they are very low right now and they're not doing too good. But in the next 2 patches, they are supposed to be getting buffs as well as the Cloud and Infernal Drakes.
Yeah. Now, one thing I'm looking at is there are some bigger differences in ranks, though, as I believe Pro Happy Camper, he is the mid laner, so he is Diamond 2, and he is well over ranking everybody else on the other team. So that's going to be a very crucial matchup to look for because mid lane is that very big pivotal point in a game that can have so much pressure on the entire game.
Absolutely, and the draft has started here. It's going to be interesting to see what the picks and bans here are. I'm really looking to see the solo laners counterpicked, save for the last round, and just go ahead and pick up the ADCs in the bot lane here first, going back to that earlier lack of agency in this patch.
So looking into this, what do you guys think we should be looking for here on the bans? Who are the bigger bans that are super important and crucial for this game?
From what I've seen so far is people are mainly just banning based off of doing a little background research on the other team and seeing what they play for the most part. And they've been banning based off of that usually. And then if there's a game 2 or a game 3, they'll ban off of the first game if things went poorly for them usually.
Yeah, and for me, I would like to see a Diana ban come through here because she is incredibly strong and is a powerful flex pick, can be played either mid or jungle, and for me, she just has so much burst potential, so I think banning out the Diana is crucial here.
Diana, yes, like you said, is a very, very important ban. She has been super strong with the most recent patches, and the funny thing is that she didn't even get any buffs or anything done to her that I can remember. I think she just naturally came around strong with a couple patches coming to some of the mid laners and junglers. She kind of picked up her game after those nerfs came through. But I definitely want to see for the top side, we see a Yorick already taken out of the game, and Kayn. Kayn was very, very broken in the jungle here recently with the most patch. I see the Caitlyn go out there too. So the bigger bot laners right now, like the top pick bot laners running right now, are Jhin, Ziggs, and Twitch for this patch. So I'd be interested to see if either of the ADCs go with either 3 of those picks.
It's a first pick Zed, which is very interesting because that can be countered by quite a few mages. Like the Ahri or even the Syndra, just able to play back from him and not let him get on them.
That Jhin pick just came in. I knew somebody was going to pull through with that pick. That he is just way too strong right now. If you run fleet footwork with domination, it's pretty much unstoppable with Jhin if you have a decent ADC, which I expect, or a decent support, which I'm expecting in a higher elo.
Yeah, absolutely. And a little bit of touch on the Jhin, too. He is incredibly strong once he gets Stormrazor. Jin's main agency in the game comes from his ability to kite because he only has 4 bullets. He needs to know when to be able to use those correctly and in the right timing. So if he can dash in, pop his first bullet, get the Stormrazor slow, and then his Fleet of Footworks is going to be able to kite around, and then he's able to start getting the crits going, and once he gets his Boots of Swiftness, he's pretty much uncatchable if positioned correctly.
So jungle-wise, Warwick actually is a very strong pick right now. Warwick is actually one of the top junglers in this patch right now. Sejuani, but otherwise, Sejuani hasn't really been talked about in any of the upper tiers here lately, but Sejuani has been making a huge comeback in the jungle. I mean, seeing him being played a lot, and he's very strong right now for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why, but I know that Warwick should be running Press the Attack to better his chances against the Sejuani.
I actually really like this Morgana pick from Team Solo Legends, as Katarina Winemixer was looking very scary against this Jhin with the Warwick, Leona, and the Zed. All 3 of them would be able to just hop on him and ruin his entire game. But the Morgana pick should allow him to be pretty unstoppable from them, in my opinion.
Yeah, we ADCs are very much used to everybody pile driving on us, so we say flash for as late as we possibly can, but it is so nice to have a Morgana support, even if it goes in the mid lane. It's so nice to have a Morgana to be able to throw on that black shield for a little bit of extra CC removal. It will be interesting to see. If I was Jhin, I would be picking up Cleanse as my second summoner spell next to Flash.
Maybe a mistake on the side of Katarina Winemixer. They hit the no ban. Might have been a mistake there, I think. Very interesting.
It very could have been, or they might have been. I wasn't really paying attention. Did they have a late bloomer here? Like, did they lose one of their bands? Is that it?
No, they had access to all their bands.
Okay. Because I know if you're late by a minute or whatnot, you lose a band. Ooh, a Gnar pick. Gnar's actually super strong right now. And actually, the funny thing is they're actually adding new skins next patch, and one of the skins is actually Gnar. They're adding astronaut skins for Nautilus, Gnar, and Poppy.
Doesn't Bard get one as well? An astronaut skin?
Yeah.
Yes.
Bard is getting one as well.
Oh, dude, I'm so happy.
And they just added chromas as well for him.
The Lucian Leona, that is a very aggro bot lane. So that's going to be, even with the Black Shield, I think that's going to be very scary for this gen if played correctly. And the Mordekaiser pick, everybody knows that is a very strong top laner right now, able to win the majority of the 1v1s up there. So that's going to be very scary for this Gnar up there. He's going to have to play very carefully early.
Yeah, absolutely. Level 2 from Leona Lucian is devastating. You have 2 forms of CC, and Lucian, once he gets his dashes, is basically able to get 4 auto attacks in the span of 2 while waving in abilities in there. So, going to be interesting to see as well. We do see a Mordekaiser picked up.
Wow.
Ooh, and the Fizz. So we should...
Mid.
Assassin versus Assassin mid lane matchup. Let's go, baby.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, Fizz can E Zed's ult, right?
I believe so.
Like, once his X hits, if he E's up right when his ult goes to proc on him, he can E up and get out of it.
I believe it does negate the damage, yes.
This is going to be a very interesting matchup, and the jungle pressure is going to be unreal from press the attack if Warwick's running press the attack. And on top of that, this bot lane matchup, the Leona is going to very much so come in handy against this Jhin. But if the Lucian can't pull together on the Jhin, then, this might be a very, very interesting bot lane run here.
Now, in my opinion, I do believe that Katarina Winemixer did win this draft pretty heavily, as I believe Warwick is going to be a lot more useful mid-early than the Sejuani, as well as the Mordekaiser, and then Lucian and Leona should just destroy this bot lane, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. And my thoughts as well, if I can give a little bit of insight to Team Solo Legends, they do have a window opening up for them, specifically because the Gnar is overtuned this patch, and the Jhin, even though he only has 4 bullets, late game he is an absolute monster. So it will be interesting to see how both these teams play out, because it looks like it's all going to be decided in the early game, because both of them do have late game competitions. But Zed, a little bit more of a skirmishing split pusher versus a team fighter, which Fizz with his ultimate able to do that AoE damage. In the late game, I slightly favor the side of Team Solo Legends here.
I believe that Gnar is going to come in very, very useful towards the end of the game, for the sole fact that if Gnar can bully this Mordekaiser early game, Gnar is a very strong champion, and a very strong champion to try to counter, because Gnar has all the abilities that any laner could have. So he has his jump, his dash, his throw, he has a slowing mechanism and a jump. Like, he has everything you could ever want on a champion, which makes him a terrifying top lane to fight against.
Yeah, I know that when Gnar first came out, I was like, ooh, I'll play top lane for a little bit, just for the fact that I get to be both like a little bit of a marksman and then get to jump in Mega Gnar form for some super damage. That always felt nice.
Right. Yes, he does have a lot of extra utility compared to lots of top laners, but I still think he's going to have quite some trouble up against this Mordekaiser, who is a very strong bruiser up in the top lane.
No matter how this Mordekaiser does, no matter what, he's going to be very useful late game, being as when team fights come around, if he uses his ultimate, he can pull one of the main damage dishers out into a different universe or whatever, however that works. Wherever they go, he can pull them out of the team fight to give his team the upper hand against the people that have less damage.
Yeah, I believe he drags them to League of Legends version of Hell. I think that is the lore behind that. So incredibly scary. It's supposed to be terrifying. And whenever you're playing a squishy champion against Mordekaiser, he drags you to Hell. You're just praying that you can
dodge his abilities.
Yeah, because once he gets on you, it's pretty much over. Just because I think he steals a lot of your stats too whenever he pulls you to Hell.
Right. And that's going to be a super, super dominating pick late game, especially if it is in favor for them. It's just the ability to walk up and, if so, or if need be, pull that Fizz or Jin, their main damage dealers, out of the fight for that sole 5 to 10 seconds in hopes to give his team the advantage they need to take over the team fight before it goes too far in the other direction.
Now, even though there isn't Morgana in this game, I would still like to see Jin pick himself up a QSS, as the Black Shield obviously can only deal with one of the CC tools on the side of Katarina Wine Mixer, as well as the QSS can cleanse him from that Mordekaiser ulti, which could completely save a team fight and get him right back in and able to deal the damage that he needs to do.
Very true. If Sejuani is able to engage properly, she should be able to counter a lot of the team fight damage put out by Mordekaiser if she can stun him early.
Yes, that'd be very nice if she can CC him up before he can get in there with his passive proc.
Ooh, Pulsefire Shin, the newest skin out. Or Pulsefire Solution, I'm sorry.
It's like, I didn't see a Shin in the draft.
Yeah, I was me either.
I was very confused.
No, but I'm actually super excited to see the skin in game. I thought it looked really cool.
I believe this is the one with the Prestige Edition as well, right? The Lucian?
There is a Prestige Edition, yes. I don't have that kind of money, but there is one of those. Yeah. But there is that version available.
Looks like everybody solely picked a champion that they have some decent mastery on. Everybody has a lot of experience behind their champs. You know, obviously that'd be the best idea if you're playing in a tournament scene.
Yeah,
but
very interesting. This is an exhaust summoner spell onto the Jhin. Now, this is rising in popularity a little bit. First pioneered by FSN Saber, who is a challenger level AD carry that gives a lot of coaching and lessons and does a lot of instructional videos for other AD carries in the lower elos. He started picking up exhaust when going on Ashe because he realized more quickly than most of us that ADCs die too quickly, and exhaust will save you more often than heal will because there's going to be a lot of ignites being played. So if you can actually get the exhaust down onto someone like a Zed or even a Lucian and basically negate a lot of their damage, then you do have a lot more agency in these team fights. And the game is loaded up here. So we are getting ready again for this Division A Championship match between Katarina Wine Mixer and Team Solo Legends. Again, in the chat, if you're a fan of either of these two teams, please let us know. Light up the chat and give them your energy. Woo, gonna be exciting here.
Very excited to see how the Sejuani plays out. I just realized Sejuani is running Aftershock and Precision, which is going to be super interesting to play against a Warwick with Press the Attack.
Yeah, usually in the jungle you do see the Fleet Footwork come out from the Sejuani as it makes her clear so much more swiftly, and she will end clear in the jungle with 100% HP and able to gank wherever she wants to with ease. But with the Aftershock, it will give her a little bit more damage in some of these fights and a little more survivability, but her early game, I believe, is going to be a little bit more difficult without the Fleet Footwork. She is getting a nice little ward down. Gets chased off by the Zed and Warwick, though. She's going to have to back up to her camp.
Do you guys use the directed camera, or how do you guys do this?
Directed camera.
Usually.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy going on. No big invades. Just a little bit of poking from each team. So, nice little slow early
Gnar
game.
definitely got the best of that damage output there with that little trade with Mordekaiser.
Mordekaiser does have the Dorn shield, though, so he should heal it back up in time for lane.
For sure. Doesn't look like there's going to be any invasions going on here. Everybody's going to play it safe to start out.
Now, what are some lanes you guys are looking forward to seeing the matchup go? How do you want them to be played and such?
I'm excited to see this Zed Fizz because Fizz is one of the biggest, most annoying champions to play against in the mid lane at any elo if he's played properly. And I really feel like that this Zed, if with the proper mechanics, can really put a hurting on him. But I'm interested to see how this matchup ends.
Yeah, Zed should win the first couple levels here against the Fizz, as he does outrange him pretty heavily with his Q, and then even his Shadow he's going to be able to do quite a bit. But as soon as Fizz hits 3, I think we might see a solo kill come in from one of them.
Yeah,
As it goes in onto
Fizz,
the Zed, chunks him.
Fizz going a little bit aggressive here. Really wants to get these autos up, especially with that damage proccing. Does get level 2. Is Ignite going to come down? No, the Shadow being able to use to get away from the Fizz safely. But Fizz is winning out, but Leona's going to go in here onto the Morgana. Does get a lot of damage. Ignite does come down, but the Jhin able to root up the Leona here, and it will be a trade of damage. And then we also have a fight going in here in the top lane. Mordekaiser wanted to go in on this Gnar. So much fighting going in, but Leona wants to go back into the Jhin. Exhaust used onto the Lucian. That's coming in crucial. Heal used, and Lucian so close to death, able to dash away, but flash forward from the Morgana. Lucian will get away safely, but that was a win for the bot lane of Team Solo Legends.
Wow, everybody hit level 2 and just decided that this is the time right here.
Oh, but we got a flash forward onto the Fizz. This is going to be first blood over to the Fizz from Team Solo Legends with a clear outplay.
Fizz with that first blood, that's going to be huge for him in the mid lane, as it's just going to make everything so much more difficult for the Zed, as he did blow his Ignite as well. So the solo
Sejuani does want to come in out of the top lane, able to use the dash. Is the stun going to come through? Gnar jumps in, so doesn't have that for escape if he needs to. Shield comes up for Mordekaiser and is going to get away because the Boomerang Blade does not land to get that proc. But Warwick fancies himself a counter gank, wants to go in on this Gnar, very weak. Flash forward from the Warwick, is able to be able to take down the Gnar, and Sejuani surely will fall. No, dash away is going to be able to get her to safety.
Wow, very great pressure from that Warwick coming in there to save the day on that Mordekaiser. He did get out, but he was able to go back in and pick up that kill onto the Gnar, which is very, very nice.
That was a very, very interesting first 5 minutes here for the match, or first 3 minutes. I'm sorry, I feel like we've used all of our summoner spells on every champion in the first 3 minutes of the match.
Yeah, of course. Everything just got a little bit crazy as soon as everybody hit level 2. That was a little hasty, I think, from some of the lanes, but all in all, it went in favor of Katarina Winemixer, in my opinion, with that top lane push.
I'm definitely enjoying the amount of pressure being applied by the junglers early game.
Oh, but Warwick might be caught out just a little bit. Sejuani's going to be able to take care of him. The Zed is going to be able to roam up. That is going to be a lot of damage on Warwick, who will fall instantly. And Warwick able to pick up a kill. Sejuani, are you called out a little bit too far? Flash away is going to be used, but Zed able to pick up that return kill. So still even in kills here in this game, but look at the farm difference in the mid lane.
It's a very good outplay there and a very good trade. It was very important for Zed to pick up that Sejuani there to make the fight worth it. But at the end of the day, that Warwick was picked off guard there. I don't think it would have been a good idea to push up that far into the jungle.
Now, if I can take your attention to top lane, Gnar just hit level 4 up here, and Mordekaiser has been level 5. Looking to hit level 6 within the next wave or two, I think, here. He's also down 16 farm onto this Mordekaiser. So it's going to be looking very scary for this Gnar right now, as Mordekaiser completely is in the lead.
Our first Drake's up. It looks like Warwick's wanting to take advantage of the river here to get the view from the Scuttle Crab. Have the ability to contest Dragon or take it whenever they need.
Yeah, we do see Fizz making his way into the river, just trying to clear out some vision with that mid lane wave control priority that he does have.
Now, one thing you don't see on the side of Katarina Winemixer is a real way to deal with Fizz if he does get onto this Lucian. Lucian can dash away, but if Fizz has a lot of utility to follow up with the Lucian dash, so it'll be interesting to see Fizz roam down bot lane and try and help out his Jhin and Morgana in this push.
Yeah, absolutely.
You see here, Jhin has a 20 CS lead on this Lucian as he's farming under tower right now. It should go up a little bit, but
I think it's very crucial that this Warwick takes advantage of pressuring this bot lane to give his Lucian the ability he needs to catch back up and farm. I think it's very important for this bot lane at this point in time that they catch back up, because this game could go very south very fast if this Jhin gets ahead by too much.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when Jhin is able to get that corner turned. And we were talking about earlier in the draft how Lucian Leona should win this bot lane, but just getting a little bit outplayed. That not sure how to deal with the exhaust, but we do have the ultimate used from the Mordekaiser into the top lane. Gnar able to bounce away, bouncing on the head of Mordekaiser is going to be able to survive the ultimate. Is he going to have the auto attack to be able to do the damage? Does have level 6 now. The Gnar is available. Is he going to go in with the bounce and Gnar into the wall? No, he's just going to get safety a little bit. Now has melee range activated, but Fizz is here as well. Gnar flash going in, but Fizz ultimate will whiff, so unable to connect there. The Sejuani roamed up as well, but Mordekaiser just a little too close to his tower.
That was an amazing flash by Mordekaiser.
He surely would have gone down if he got by that Fizz ultimate. Even if he did flash after it connected, it still would have just been way too much for him to deal with.
Would have took too much health, and it would have slowed him to the point where Gnar could have followed up and definitely got that kill. It's a very, very well-timed flash on Mordekaiser's part there.
Now that should help Gnar a little bit, get a little bit of his lane pressure back, as he does pick up the Merc Treads here. And he is Mordekaiser's now level 7, so he's still out-leveling this Gnar up here, which is very scary.
Fizz
I'm really
does hit...
interested to see this Fizz. See, this Fizz is 2-0, 150 gold bounty on his head. I'm interested to see how this is going to play out. He is ahead.
Oh, but the Sejuani is going to be able to steal away the Ocean Dragon from the Warwick, trying to sneak it away, and is going to be able to get the damage sniped away from the Jhin. Fizz wants to go in as well onto the Zed. Ultimate used. The Death Mark is activated. The Ignite does come down. This is going to be enough damage. Looks like the Fizz will stay alive. Both mid laners able to stay alive in that fight with Ignites being used.
That's a completely different fight. If Fizz just waits for his ultimate to come up there, he wins that so easily if he waits for his ultimate there, but he gets a little bit impatient and goes in.
I want to give a lot of credit to the bot lane there, that Jhin having that amazing view there on that dragon and able to W in and give his jungler the ability to get in there.
Oh, but the Fizz ultimate is used. Is going to be able to catch out the Zed, and Zed will fall in the mid lane.
Yes, and as you do see in this bot lane, Jhin does have this BF sword down here, and he is making this lane hell for Lucian and Leona. They're not able to do anything against him.
Definitely a problem here that Fizz is 3-0. He's going to have a good gold bounty, so if they can get their jungler or top laner to shut him down, that would be huge for the team. But 3-0 Fizz early game, it's not looking too good for the mid lane here.
It's going to be very difficult for this Warwick and Zed to kill him too, as it does look like it is a Zhonya's Hourglass Rush from the Fizz. So we have lots of utility with that, as well as all the bonus armor. Jhin pops his ultimate down bot lane though.
Yeah, he's trying to get some picks off.
Connect the shots.
Misses all of them, unfortunately. Yeah. Maybe a little overzealous there, but the Fizz does want to go in again onto the Zed. Does get a lot of poke damage down onto him and wins that trade heavily.
I don't think it was a good idea by that Zed to fall. I know he was just trying to get away from the damage output, but I think putting himself in a position closer to the enemy tower to where he has to run back past Fizz put him in a position where he was not as well off there.
And you see this Lucian's still down 20 farm on this Jhin, who's going to take a reset. I want to see what he buys here.
Got some... Morg saves the shield for when she sees E from Leo. It counters her engage. Chat giving us some tips.
Oh, but Warwick does want to go in onto the Sejuani. The Sejuani will fall to the Zed.
She gets absolutely melted there by Warwick and Zed. She doesn't have any resistances built at all or health, so she is very squishy still in this early game.
That Zed kill will give him a little bit of ability to come back possibly in the mid lane if played right. It is hard coming back against a 3-0 Fizz, but if this Zed can pick up another kill and focus on CSing and staying ahead of Fizz, we could have a really nice matchup on our hands here.
Now, you did see that Warwick turn around and not gank mid, but I think that would have been good for him to run in there as Fizz was retreating down to the bottom side river, but Leona was already packed up from bot lane.
Oh, but we do see a fight here in the top lane. Gnar ultimate going to be used, but the shield from the Mordekaiser is able to negate so much damage from the Gnar. Gnar does still want to go in, but able to crunch away. But that was very scary for the Gnar, almost dying to the Mordekaiser. Warwick wanting to go in with the super speed that he gets from being able to hunt down low enemy champions. Stun used onto the Warwick to be able to dissuade that gank.
Damage to beat the Sejuani though by himself.
No, Sejuani will be able to clean it up. That will be Warwick falling to the Sejuani. And ultimate used onto the Mordekaiser. This is going to be able to go in. No, Gnar is going to be able to just barely dissuade that Fizz. Roaming up here from the mid lane as well. Sejuani almost falls, but Fizz will be able to easily clean up that kill. Great juggle of aggro from the top laner.
This lane is looking very, very hard coming in for the Zed with this Fizz coming out just strong. 4-0 lead. It's not looking good for that mid lane body there.
Woo.
Fizz is stacking this CDR like crazy right now too, so he does have the Phoenix Codex and he does pick up the Boots of Lucidity, so he has tons of CDR in this mid lane, so his ultimate is going to be up the majority of the time, which is very scary for the Zed. We do see Zed roaming down, though.
We've been seeing a lot of action from mid and top, but nothing really bot lane. It looks like they might be engaging here shortly, though. Definitely with the tower pushed in.
They do have the vision to ward it off, though, so they should end up being okay.
Oh, but Leona is able to land an ultimate onto the Morgana. I think that's the wrong target. You want to focus the ADC in these situations.
Very much so, especially with the power that Jhin dishes out early game, and definitely with his CS. You definitely want to try to focus that.
Oh, but the death mark used onto the Zed, but the exhaust does come down, able to negate a lot of that damage. Heal coming through from the Morgana. Ultimate popped here from the Zed. Is he going to be able to pick up these targets? We'll see. No, his teammates will keep the Zed alive, but Lucian falling low to that. And we have a fight here in the top lane as well. There's just so much action going on. Sejuani ultimate used. Mordekaiser does want to go in, but it will fall to the tower. And then Fizz just picking up random kills in the mid lane. Everybody wants to fight all at the same time. It's hard for you to keep up.
That was very well played by Mordekaiser to even get one pick off of that fight there, being ganked in by 2 people, and definitely going to be an issue late game playing against that Mordekaiser.
Absolutely.
Now, I
Morgana.
am jumping back to see what happened in this mid lane with this war.
Did the Fizz just go in instantly onto Leona? Jhin gonna help out with the snares, and then looks like Fizz will go down to the Zed. If he's able to get the chase off, this will be a huge shutdown. Oh, but Fizz uses the playful trickster, is going to be able to get away from the Zed, denying that huge shutdown lead. But here comes Warwick, super speedy, chasing down low enemy targets. Is this going to be a catch out? Shadow used forward. Morgana Black Shield able to save a lot of the Fizz's health. But the Fizz will fall, and it will go over to the Warwick with 1,000 gold shutdown.
Oh, my.
Oh, my, indeed.
You know, I do want to point out that Zed did put out a great deal of damage hitting his combo on that Fizz when he was sitting in the bottom of the lane there.
But the Zonya's used here by Morgana. Is it going to be able to keep her safe? Yes, the Jhin will draw aggro for his teammate, but Youmuu's Ghost Blade popped to get a little bit of extra movement speed. That is going to be, oh no, Triumph will save the Zed, and then he's going to be able to get a clean kill onto the Morgana here.
Wow, that was a little hasty from the Morgana there. I'm not sure why she chased, as it was very obvious that the Lucian and Leona were both well on their way back to the lane. And even if they weren't, her taking that much tower damage cannot be any good for her at all.
No, they try to get a little too much there for sure.
So I did rewind back to whenever this Fizz and Warwick were fighting mid while everything else was going on. It looks like Warwick got himself a little too confident and went in on the Fizz, and Fizz just absolutely destroyed him.
Yeah, Fizz wanted to go in now on Leona here, but the Lucian is here to provide the backup. Ultimate use on the Lucian may be able to pop him clean, but Flash Away going to be able to save the Lucian, and then we do have Sejuani making her way over as well, but Fizz just basically took no damage, and Flash and Ultimate used onto the Lucian.
You know, a very scary matchup here coming in that Fizz is still very much ahead. 8-1 now at 15 minutes, and they have double Dragon Buff coming.
Oh, but ultimate used from the Zed. Wanted to pop in the Morgana, but Morgana will live with only 75 health in the bot lane.
Zed is just dropping insane damage right here. This Fizz is 8-1, but it seems like Zed's 8-1 as well with how much damage he is dealing to everybody on the map. We do see the 8-stack Dark Seal on the side of Fizz, though. Rift Herald in the top lane. Might be able to take down this first tower.
Oh, but the Fizz is able to land the ultimate onto the Zed. The Warwick is here to get some damage. Oh, and the Zonya's at the perfect time, able to outplay the Warwick there. Jhin has a lot of Slayers and damage coming out onto the bot lane. Ultimate used by the Sejuani. That should be cleanup kills for the Jhin. Lucian has no hope whatsoever. One auto attack will take the Jhin out.
Yes, and we do see this Zed is getting really strong on the side of Katarina Wine Mixer, but there's a lot of tools to deal with him, I think, on the side of Team Solo Legends. As Fizz goes in,
but Fizz wanted to go in, dropping the Ignite. Just you, playful Trickster will dodge all the damage that Zed had.
Wow. First tower did go to Katarina Wine Mixer, but Team Solo Legends picks up the second one here with their bot lane. That Jin's got to be sitting on tons of gold right now.
You know, this team is very much so ahead here. Almost 4,000 gold ahead at 16 minutes. Has both Dragons and now a 3-0 Jin and a 9-1 Fizz. This game is shaping up to the main ADs.
Oh, but going under the top lane, there is some snares coming out. Gnar ultimate used was not going to be able to connect the stun. Should be able to get away, but the ultimate from Mordekaiser is keeping him in the prisms of hell. More stuns coming out from Gnar, able to crunch away from the Mordekaiser. More fights going
in on this Morgana. He's not going to find anything, I don't think.
Oh, but this Zenith Blade is going to be able to connect onto the Morgana. Ignite used, heal running away to get that extra movement speed. Snare will come through. Fizz in the top lane should be able to clean up Mordekaiser as well. No, Gnar will take it with his boomerang.
And wow, Morgana's actually able to live here by herself with that heal you see there. Actually saving her life and giving her the movement speed to run away from those two and safely hide underneath that tower.
Yeah, I want to know why Katarina Winemixer hates Morgana so much, because it seems like anytime there's a fight in the bot lane, they immediately focus Morgana.
That's pretty much what it is to me. Now we do see that the... Oh, sorry, my thing is messed up. My timer's not showing for some reason.
Uh-oh.
Jin's starting to push out mid here now.
Yeah, but it looks like Zed will fall to the Fizz as well. Fizz wanted to go in for some more damage. Gnar gonna jump in here. Only one more proc, and that will be a dead Leona. She's only gonna be able to survive for just a little bit, but will fall eventually. Zed should fall to the Fizz. Yes, dash over the wall is gonna be able to use to pick that kill up, and this is a lot of control coming out from Team Solo Legends.
Now, if you look in this top lane, Gnar did go ahead and pick up the Wit's End for the first item. That is such a huge item against Mordekaiser on any champion if you're laning against him, as you can have so much pressure.
Absolutely. Is the Mordekaiser biting off a little more than they can shoot? The Jin is here. Ultimate use from Sejuani, but is going to be able to get out of it. Mordekaiser is kiting away perfectly. His teammates are here to help him. This is going to be too much for Team Solo Legends to take control of. Ultimate used onto the Jin, or to the Morgana, excuse me, is going to fall eventually.
Tasty.
Zonya's used on Fizz. He should fall. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to get away. Flash away used, and it's just going to casually pick up Mordekaiser on the way out. Oh my goodness. Fizz able to clean up, or Jin able to clean up that kill. Zed ultimate used. The death mark is popped. Is the damage coming to come through? Zonya's popped. He able to keep him alive for a little bit longer, but it will be inevitable. Jin able to clean up with the auto attacks. Fizz now has finally fallen. Shutdown gold over to Lucian. Gnar ultimate huge. 2 under tower. That is a lot of damage, but Zonya's coming out. Stopwatches left and right. Jin walked forward a little too much. Will fall to the tower, and is so much death and chaos. But at the end of the day, it is a 4-for-3 for the favorite Team Solo Legends.
Wow, that's a huge misplay on the side of Jin, as they would have probably taken down this tower and had huge pressure on this dragon if he stayed alive there and was able to get that Leona.
It was very crucial that Jin would stay alive there. That actually came out as a very amazing team fight. It turned very quickly. The tide turned very fast. At one moment, we thought that, you know, Katarina Winemixer had it coming for it, and then Team Solo Legends had the full push out and picked up, and then it fell right back into Katarina Winemixer's hands.
There's so much action going on in this first game. I am so excited. I hope we get a 3-game series, because this is the championship match. Again, if you're in the chat, let me know who you're a fan of. Is this Team Solo Legends game, or is Katarina Winemixer going to be able to pull out the comeback here? Warwick looks like he wants to contest this dragon a little bit, but there are too many members from the side of Team Solo Legends to be able to contest it. Ultimate's used onto the Warwick. Looks like he is going to be able to pop him out. No ultimate used. Is going to be able to heal up a little bit, but that is so much damage coming in. Zed using the ultimate will be able to clean up the Fizz. Fizz will fall, and Dragon's still alive. Mordekaiser wanted to go in on it, maybe able to take it up. No, Sejuani will be able to secure that for her team. That is 3 dragons over to the side of Team Solo Legends.
I think Katarina Winemixer needs to stop chasing here, as I think Team Solo Legends could really turn this around on them, with Lucian being about 1 auto for this Jin.
You know, I think it's going to be very crucial that this Mordekaiser starts focusing either this Fizz or this Jin, with both of them being worth gold. And at 12-3 Fizz, just, I can't believe that, you know, that this Jin and Fizz combo here, they should be putting out a lot of damage here, making it super difficult for either of these tanks to even go in.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Sejuani does have an ability to not be slowed, so I will be interested to see what that's going to play out. Look at this. Jin opting not to go with the Storm Razor.
Do you see slowing down for a minute here now? Hopefully playing around this Baron some.
Yeah, 22 minutes into the game, Baron will be the main objective worth fighting over. There's a lot of vision in the top side from Team Solo Legends. Sejuani clearing out some control wards, being able to keep that vision game strong. Oh, but we do see a fight here in the bot lane. Both ultimates used from the side of both mid laners. Over here, split pushing in the bottom lane. Youmuu's Ghostblade will get Zed to safety with that extra movement speed, but good trades back and forth.
Fizz does get the better of Zed here. And as we were talking about with the Baron, the Mountain Drake should be spawning just around the same time as people are hopefully getting all their good vision onto this Baron.
Yeah, we do see some fights going in. Leona does want to go in, but is able to get some damage and some CC. Warwick here as well. Flash away from the Morgana, able to keep her to safety. Mordekaiser fighting 2v1. Gnar as well. Lucian might be caught out a little bit too much. Will be able to fall over, and this is going to be a huge cleanup kill. Team Solo Legends doing a lot of damage and a lot of work. That is 4 for 0 in a clean team fight. That's going to be Baron.
I like to see them go on the Baron here. There's no reason not to take it. Fizz can zone off this Zed and make him useless, and they can just take this for free, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Securing this Baron, and if they are able to secure this last dragon, this game is going to be very, very hard to come back for.
Oh, Death Mark used onto the Fizz. Does it have the damage? No, Ignite is burning, and Fizz is going to be able to outplay that again.
This Zed keeps on thinking he's doing. He's 2 items to nearly he's 1.5 items to nearly 3 items on this Fizz. Keeps on trying the 1v1 after losing it countless times.
Yeah, and we see the first pick Zed coming back to bite him in the butt, basically, because Fizz counterpick onto the Zed seems to be working out huge, able to dodge away from the ultimate damage with the Playful Trickster, and the Zhonya's having another way to deal with that. So Fizz really playing this incredibly well.
He does have the death cap finished as well, so he's just going to be doing insane amounts of damage, as well as this Zed, or not this Zed, sorry, this Jin picks up his Phantom Dancer, so it's going to be even harder for this Zed to find and execute on one of the carries.
Yeah, absolutely. This matchup here, it's just, there's a 10.6 thousand gold lead. Sorry, there's a 10,000 gold lead here. And it's just, it keeps constantly growing. The kills are highly in the favor of red. And they're 1 dragon away from Cloud Soul, and it's, nothing is unstoppable here. There's a very high chance that anybody can come back. I've seen comebacks from way farther depths.
And it could start here. Jin is going to be caught out by the Zed, but 4 shots and Zed is dead. I was just getting ready to ask, what's the way for Katarina Y-Mixer to come back into this game? That was it, but poorly executed.
Like I said, that Phantom Dancer on that Jin makes it nearly impossible for the Zed to do anything to him, as he only has 1.5 items completed.
Yep, ultimate used here by the Jin, wanting to follow up on that snare that he landed on Leona. Fizz with a huge flame just deletes Lucian from the map. He is not allowed to play League of Legends today.
Lichbane proc on Fizz's W, as well as a crit from Jin. Takes him down from half health, instantly dead.
So much damage. I love seeing the kind of damage. Jin going to be able to use some of the damage onto the Warwick. Will snare him up, and Warwick will fall. Mordekaiser trying to pull in 3, but it's not going to be enough. He just doesn't have the damage to be able to survive. Fizz ultimate going to whiff onto the Zed. Zed will try and go in, but does fall. There's just too many teammates. You got to imagine with this push, there's over 40 seconds onto the team. This is going to be game.
They have the Baron minions. They have the numbers. It's only Lucian and Leona. Lucian, who is very weak, only 1 item completed. They have no chance of doing anything.
Oh, and Fizz wanted to go for the style.
Wow. Inside of the fountain, 1-shots Lucian.
Yeah, and that's going to be Team Solo Legends taking an early lead here, going up 1-0 against Katarina Y-Mixer.
Wow. What a great game from Team Solo Legends.
Yeah, absolute fantastic showing. A lot of strategic outplays there as well. I was very interested to see the Zed getting counterpicked by this Fizz. It basically made all of that, hey, I'm better than you, seem absolutely worthless.
Fizz definitely made a statement for next game. He's not going to be taken lightly next game for sure, and I can pretty much guarantee we might be seeing a Fizz ban next matchup.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if we see the Fizz and the Jin ban next match. But I would like to see from Katarina Winemixer, I'd like to see them prioritize getting a better mid lane pick next game. I don't want them to pick, or first pick especially their mid laner. They can do that with their support or even their jungler. But I think doing that with your mid laner is just way too risky and not an efficient method of play.
Coming out in a strong game one, though, they really did bring the heat. That Fizz played a huge role in taking the lead here, just outplaying that Zed and definitely being there. Both teams showing strong team support, just not able to take action all the time.
Yeah, and it was interesting to see that both teams had a strong synergy with themselves, but just a couple of outplays, especially in the early games, with better rotations from the jungler on the Sejuani, able to start this snowball rolling, and then once it got rolling, Katarina Winemixer never had a chance to be able to get that set up.
Yeah, I think it was very crucial that the teams were focusing on the objectives here, especially when your team's behind on kills, especially against somebody like Fizz or Jin. I think it's super important to focus the main buffs and, dragons and Baron. I think it's super hard to take advantage of a game that you're behind on if you don't have those buffs coming through for your team, and being so far behind and not being able to come back and take over those because of the lead advantage. It's a super hard thing to come back from.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I really enjoyed seeing there is that we had the idea that Katarina Winemixer had the better early game champions, and they did. But unfortunately, Jin just came up huge, able to outplay this Lucian Leona bot lane, and that was mainly due to the summoner spell Exhaust, because in that first 2v2 fight, we saw Lucian going in, had the damage, and had the health lead, but the Exhaust came down critically onto the Lucian, able to negate most of his damage, and Jin able to just weather the storm.
And I really do think that Jin taking that exhaust played a huge role in taking advantage of that lane against that Lucian Leona, because that exhaust alone put a huge damage difference down between Lucian and Jin early game.
Yeah, the damage, as well as allowing the Morgana bind and the Jin's W to land onto the Lucian or Leona there. Whoever was exhausted, they're slowed by such a huge amount that those skill shots just feel like point and click at that point.
No matter what, Leona hitting those stuns, they weren't doing anything. If Jin was able to exhaust that Lucian, he wasn't able to do enough damage to get him off before the stun expired.
Yep, of course, yeah.
Absolutely.
Great counter pick there.
Fantastic counter pick. Looks like the teams are going to take a quick 5-minute break. We're going to take a quick break as well for about 2 to 3 minutes, and we will come back once the draft is started up here. So we will see you for Game 2 between Team Solo Mid and Katarina Winemixer. All right, everyone, welcome back. We are back here just waiting for Game 2 to get loaded up between Team Solo Mid and Katarina Winemixer. Team Solo Mid taking an early Game 1 lead in this series. This is a best of 3 for the Division A Championship. Now, in the first game, we did see the Zed get counterpicked by a Fizz, able to negate a lot of the damage, especially pulling out the Zonya's first item. Rylan, I'm looking to you. What are you looking forward to seeing in Game 2 for Katarina Winemixer to pull this game and make it a series?
For Katarina Winemixer, I really want to see them pick up a better mid laner than the Zed. I don't think the Zed is particularly strong, especially because, yes, he can be very strong against squishy 80 carries, or if he does win the mid matchup really hard, he can obviously just destroy his opposing mid laner. But I really want to see him on something better than the Zed, something more that has a lot more utility, because that Zed, he did get stuffed and he came back from a little bit, but then that Fizz just started prioritizing him and would just one-shot him every single fight and was not able to do anything. And I also want to see Katarina Winemixer focus the carries a lot more when in these team fights. As lots of fights, they were just letting Mordekaiser run in and beat on Sejuani, or Leona was just sitting in the back and not engaging on that Jhin. Jhin is very immobile, and Morgana lots of times was using the Black Shield really early on him. So they could have just capitalized off of that and locked that Jhin down with how much CC that Leona does have. She has 3 tools of it, and 2 of them are on such low cooldowns that she can just chain CC him.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do want to see a little bit of a change here in the bot lane as well, because Lucian is strong in general, but on this patch, he's not particularly strong. I would like to see maybe if Caitlyn isn't banned this game, I'd like to see a Caitlyn pick, or I'd like to see maybe even an Ezreal. But the draft has started up here, so I am looking forward to seeing what we're going to come up with here and how Katarina Winemixer is going to be able to come back into this game.
I'm really looking into seeing a Jhin or Fizz ban here. I'd honestly be very surprised if they didn't.
Yeah, the Thresh ban again, I'm not really sure. I understand that the Thresh ban is probably because Tricky is a Thresh main or something of that category, but I do not believe that the Thresh ban is a very high target to need to ban, especially within the first 3 bans. You could do it in the last 2, I think, but I don't think it's that good of a ban to need to prioritize this heavily. And I don't think that they're really taking that into consideration with the double support ban here, and I don't think the supports were really the problem in that game.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, the only problem I saw with supports was that for some reason, Katarina Winemixer hated Morgana and just wanted to fight her over and over and over again to no avail. So, I mean, I didn't see like any crazy Afro move, old plays, flash forward, ultimate Morgana, black shielding, doing some great things. I just kind of saw, standard support play. So, we'll be
just slowly peeling that Jhin a little bit from that Warwick. And
yeah,
like you said, there was never any big ult Zonia's plays from her that was locking down the enemy team and making those team fights impossible. It was just, she was just hitting a binding every now and again. But even then, they never really were able to make too much off the bindings. I don't think it was that big of a play from them, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
They keep banning that Caitlyn. Somebody has some PTSD from playing against that champion.
Oof. Well, it is the champion for all ADCs that makes them think that they're good at the game.
And Ezreal.
Ezreal is like the most popular of all ADCs of all time for some reason.
If somebody gets the autofilled bot, I swear they always pick the Ezreal every single game. Somebody gets autofilled, they're like, "Oh, it's Ezreal. I'll just play back and hit my skill shots."
And that's not how you play Ezreal. Ezreal, for everyone watching this, the stream here in this Division A Championship match, Ezreal, hate to inform all of you ADC mains and all of you ADC, bot autofills and all that stuff. Ezreal does have auto attacks. They do damage.
Oh, does he now?
Yeah. Especially when you get the Muramana, when that transforms from the Mana Immune into the Muramana, auto attacks hurt. Okay. So make sure that if you play Ezreal, you put some auto attacks in your abilities, because he has a passive that makes him auto attack faster when he lands more abilities. You gotta, have the two hand in hand with each other.
Very interesting jungle pick there, possibly top pick, Jarvan. I haven't seen a Jarvan in a little while. It's a very interesting pick there. But I mean, I guess at the end of the day, Jarvan's ring will definitely come in handy.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Warwick here picked up again from the side of Katarina Wine Mixer. Looks like that's going to be a comfort pick. Will be interesting to see if this J4 is played in the jungle, though, because Sejuani did have some agency and some pretty amazing ultimates. So just a little curious why they want to go ahead and change it up. I thought if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Very
My bad,
true.
sorry about that. My Discord crashed for a second there.
Oh, that's okay.
That Tarek pick, though.
I do like the Tarek pick a lot. That actually helps that Warwick a lot. If he can toss that stun down onto the Warwick, who can just chase into the enemy backline, he can get a bunch of CC while he's ulting, and he can toss down the ultimate onto the Warwick to make him immune to damage. And he can just tear up the backline, I think.
Yeah, this Jarvan Leona's looking really well here, actually, because if you look into it, Jarvan's ultimate, or whatever his wall placement is, actually is a smaller radius than Leona's ult. So if he traps somebody, Leona can ult anywhere inside that circle and stun everybody in it. There's that Jhin pick again. Actually, the recent Fizz is going to pull the Jhin pick here.
Yeah, looking just gonna be getting that Jhin again. Now Jhin was incredibly strong. The one thing about Jhin though is like you can play him, but that's what I was just getting ready to say. If you pick Ashe against the Jhin, you will have a lot harder time because that Enchanted Crystal Arrow will be able to lock you out and not allow you to get those auto attacks up, because the way in which Jhin stays alive is with perfect kiting. Ashe has a much better utility for kiting, especially with the approach velocity, which I don't believe if it was buffed this patch, or it will be buffed soon. But even still, the slows from the auto attacks, the Terra going to be able to lock down the Jhin. This should be a lot better lane from the side of Katarina Wine Mixer.
We see the Mordekaiser and the Gnar being banned from opposite sides, neither opponent wanting to go against that again.
They said we're not down today.
Yeah, I do really like this Ashe pick. Ashe is a champion who I believe has been strong for the longest time. She's just not picked very often, so people don't realize it too much. But she can do a lot of damage in a very short amount of time, especially with stacking up for her Q. Her ultimate is a very good tool. And in these 5v5 draft games, her E for that vision is just so big. Especially whenever you don't want to walk up too much and get that ward, as Ashe, as she is obviously a squishy unit. She can toss down some vision from very far away.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised to see a possible Darius or maybe even a Riven pick here.
Darius, but we will see the Set pick come through. That's going to be going into the top lane. Set, considered one of the strongest top laners in the game right now.
Very much so. He's very hard to. The only top laner I've seen counter Set at early game in the first 5 levels is a Jax because of Jax's E. Malphite.
Ooh.
Possibly this will be an interesting matchup.
It's going to be a very, very hard engaged comp here with the Jarvan, the Leona, and the Malphite. Looking at just... I am scared for this Jhin, though. This Jhin could just get destroyed if this Malphite ults in after the knockup. Set can just ult him back into the Jhin, and it will destroy him. So unless this Malphite does go AP, that is.
Syndra. A Syndra mid.
Needed some more magic damage. I was just going to say build armor and you win. But I wouldn't
be surprised to see an Aurelia pull out here.
Oh, could we get some high level mechanical plays from the Diamond the Diamond players on Team Solo Legends. But could we see some great Aurelia play here in the ESDL? Pick coming through, 0 seconds. What's going to be picked up here?
Oh, they dodged.
No.
That might have been a mispick on the side of.
What? What? Yeah.
Yes, it's going to be a redraft. Something I have noticed in this is that in the tournament draft, they don't unlock every single champion for you. So sometimes they are trying to pick for somebody else and they can't.
So he said that it was he was unable to pick. There were some technical difficulties there.
Yeah, a little bit of a bug, and we do
And
have.
we just got confirmation they are doing the same bans, and they'll be choosing the same players, and the fill-in for mid lane will be a Vel'Koz.
we got
It's very
people
nice
in
when
the.
you see the teams work it out professionally like that. As like this guy just said, the League client does have its issues every now and or all the time actually, not just every now and again.
Yeah, I can't think because I've been playing. I think since late season 2. When has League never had client issues? I can't think of a time.
So this is a very interesting matchup then. So we're going to have a Syndra going up against a Vel'Koz. Vel'Koz definitely has the range advantage, but that point and click from Syndra does a lot of damage.
We got some commentating going on. We can give Lux more skins, but we can't fix the client. This is very true. It seems like almost every other patch or skin drop, there is a Lux skin. Like she got the most recent, like the Cosmic Lux. You can choose, Moon version or the Sun version. It's pretty insane how many she does get.
Getting back into the draft should be a little bit quicker this time, just to get their picks in real quick that they're just gonna do.
Yeah, absolutely. This means we have
So
a lot.
It's
more...
gonna be the Vel'Koz pick versus the Syndra in that mid lane. I am a little bit worried about that Vel'Koz pick, as you did see all the hard CC coming in from Team Solo Legends. Is that
Team Solo Legends, yes. Team Solo.
Okay,
We've been saying Team Solo mid, but it's Team Solo Legends.
I just wasn't sure which side was on blue or red, but yeah, they do have a lot of hard engage. And that Vel'Koz obviously is very immobile, so it's going to be a little difficult for him.
And on top of that, it's a very dangerous pick as well. Coming in there, it's any team in a team fight playing against a Malphite with that knock-up entry is very much so in a bad position to fight. Especially when there's a Jarvan and Leona. The Leona stun, if she can land a stun on at least 3 to 4 of them, and ult him with Malphite full AP, just a straight ult in will just shred every. And that's going to be the interesting factor for me, is if it's going to be AP or AD Malphite.
Yeah, there's an Ivern hover. This isn't supposed to be what we're seeing here. Okay.
I think he was just trolling. I'm pretty sure he was just messing around.
Are we being trolled? we all of us got. I for sure definitely was confused.
I was worried. I thought he was about to lock that in. I was like, oh no, another redraft. 3 drafts in 1.
Let's see. Yeah, 3 drafts in 1. Everything's going to be different. Now, with the spectator delay, too, we will have a lot more time to talk about this, the draft and the pick. One thing that I'm interested to see is Jhin with his ultimate. Now, if all the go buttons happen, Jarvan, Malphite, Leona, and everyone... Jarvan, Malphite, and Leona all going in, Jhin is able to safely play these team fights with his ultimate. So it will be interesting to see if the Jhin is able to play safe enough, because Set and Warwick both have the ability to suppress him and lock him down, suppression being the highest level of crowd control in the game.
The best looking way for this team fight to go perfectly for the Katarina Wine Mixer team would be if Ashe could ult into Malphite to stop the knock-up in the beginning of the team fight. Or if Set could possibly slam Malphite back. That
would be interesting, because I have seen a couple interactions with Set able to pick Zac out of his ultimate when he's bouncing up. It will be interesting, the interaction, because Malphite basically does go unstoppable. So is Set able to catch Malphite into the air? And if so, that will be an incredible sight to see, just being able to stop that engage 100%.
Yeah, Set will have to play just outside of the... I think Set should be waiting for the knockup to go in, and we'll have to play just outside of it and then pick him up after it occurs, so he can't drop any more damage, and then he can just slam Malphite into the opposing team, which will just do insane damage if he does go tank Malphite.
Now, if I remember properly, Malphite is actually unstoppable like Olaf and his ultimate, so I think
Yep.
once he starts, he cannot be stopped.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. After the knockup goes through, then Set should be looking for the engage, not
So
during
no
it.
matter what, the damage gets puts out if he presses
Yes.
R.
Yes.
Yeah, and if he goes AP, that's going to be lots of damage, probably too much damage.
And you do have to look at the Taric ultimate too. The Taric ultimate is not an instant cast. It takes about 3 seconds for that, for the orb to fly down and make them unkillable. So
Right, and
you have to
actually,
predict that quite heavily this game.
that actually is going to be a very, very good trait to have against this Jhin and Leona. If he can ult in any scenario at all where they're low, they could easily turn that fight around.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, we got this 2-minute spectator delay.
We've done so much analysis already. It's like, how much more can we go into this draft?
We just went through a whole nother draft of it.
I'll start talking about some of the higher lane champion picks here in this season so far.
Ooh, okay, yeah. Latest knowledge on us.
So for this season so far, for this patch, 10-10, our top lane, most played, and easiest climbing champions are labeled as Malachi, Volibear, and Nasus. Those are the top solo queue champions that are climbing right now for the top lane picks.
Okay.
Moving into jungle, Xin Zhao is, with its Hail of Blades, has made a huge comeback. Trundle running Phase Rush has made a huge impact in the jungle here recently with this new patch, and Warwick running Press the Attack as well, which we're seeing in this game.
Now, if you did know that Doin B, actually the mid laner for FunPlus Phoenix, the current world champions, he did say that he believes that Malphite is the easiest champion to play and climb, as he did pick his world championship skin for Malphite so that his wife could play it.
Very true.
And can have the ability to play that champion. So he does believe, as he does play at mid lane pretty heavily, he believes that is a very strong pick. So hopefully we can see Team Solo Legends work with
a lot
it
of high elo players also say the same thing. If you're in anywhere from iron, bronze, silver, or gold, it is actually like a known fact that Malphite is one of the best champions to climb with, because not a lot of people know how to play against him or how to counter him, because he just gets so tanky and does so much damage so late in the game. It's hard to play against. But moving on to mid lane here. So Annie and Twisted Fate and Orianna are our top 3 mid laners for the 10-10 patch. How are you guys feeling about that?
I hate Annie just because she can delete anything, especially with the Predator procs. And there will be Predator buffs coming in, making that cooldown a lot lower. So just from the simple survivability, Annie, the little child that she is, will basically be tilting me off the face of the earth until she gets nerfed again.
So Annie is actually, the interesting thing about Annie is you run Electrocute with her, and if you didn't know this, every level that Annie hits, her attack range grows farther.
Really?
It's like Tristana. Yes, not by a lot, but she gets more and more range every every level she gets.
I did not know.
That's a very interesting fact that not a lot of people know. And next patch, in patch 10-11, Predator, they are going to be nerfing the cooldown for how long it takes for Predator to come back up, and they're nerfing the damage output used when attacking people with Predator.
I see.
That's interesting to see, because you don't see Predator too often in games.
No, they're aiming for supports and mid laners to use Predator more than anything now. They're trying to make it to where not only junglers are using it, but it also can be used in lanes such as support.
Oh, did you mean to say that they were like buffing it so the cooldown's going down? Correct?
Well, they're considering it a nerf because they're pushing the damage down as well. So they called it
okay.
But yeah, and then
making the damage lower but allowing you to use it more often.
Unflinching and the Ruins is actually getting a buff. They're getting a 20% health regen bonus. It was originally sitting at 10, and now it's growing to 20%.
Yeah,
that's very huge.
Correct. And before we get into the game here, we talked about that earlier. I think I already said it once. Bot lane, we're looking at Jhin, Ziggs, and Twitch as being the top ADCs for this patch. And support-wise, we're looking at Janna, Malachi, and Nami.
Absolutely. And looks like the game is loaded up here. So we are now ready for Game 2 of this Division A Championship match between Team Solo Legends, who is currently up 1-0, and Katarina Wine Mixer looking to pick up their first win and make this game a series.
Update the score count if you get a chance.
Yeah.
See if we get any early invades. No team looks like they have a very strong early game here, so we shouldn't see too much going on, but you never know. Some of these games, people want to get a little bit crazy in them.
Very true. Jarvan and Seth have seen each other.
People do like to go crazy, that is for sure.
Is rotating over to Syndra, or Syndra's rotating over to Jarvan. Do you think they're going to try to pull off the set? It looks like they're going to try to go for it.
This would be very interesting to see. They are 3 people going in, and I haven't seen an invade yet. Velkoz's going to use a little bit of his poke to hopefully get some slows down, but Leona does want to go in, and lots of trade damage going on to Velkoz. We'll have to go back to base for that.
We do see Velkoz starting with the Cole, so he's going to want this to be a farm lane, it appears, but I don't think the Cole is really the best buy for a mid laner of all champions, especially an AP one at that.
That was a very risky move by Seth, actually, considering the fact he didn't have any follow-up there with Leona sitting in mid watching the Velkoz trying to cross over with 3 people pushing through the river. That was a very risky move by Seth.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the Cole could be used because it does grant the bonus 7 attack damage and the 3 life on hit. So it should make farming the minions a little bit easier for the Velkoz, but he should be he's going to be having a lot of mana issues in this mid lane if he doesn't play correctly.
Now, this will be an interesting matchup top lane for the sole fact that Malphite, he does do very good damage early game, as we can see right now against the set, but it's super hard to farm with him just for the sole fact that it's a melee champion. Melee champions are always harder to farm with because you have to get so close to contact with another champion while trying to farm, and that always puts you at risk.
We do see the Time Warp Tonic and the Biscuit Delivery.
But level 2 picked up here from Leona is going to be able to go in onto the Ashe. Ignite Burning Heal will have to be used. Jhin not able to get the 4-shot damage onto the Ashe. Ashe will be able to live, but Heal Summoner having to be used to get away from that.
Warwick's looking for a gank down here, though. They do have Vision in the bush.
You know, I think with the proper...
They are going to retreat.
They could definitely pull this off. I think that Jhin and Leona would win this matchup possibly if they focus Ashe.
Oh, but we do have a fight going in the top lane. J4 making his way over here. Set trying to do some of the damage, but might be unable to. Malphite should... Oh, no, he's going to be able to live, and that's going to be first blood over to J4. Picking up a kill onto the set here, and some mid lane action going on. Cinder going to be poked out of lane there. But Set already falling to the jungle gank. Lots of pressure.
Getting collapsed on right here. They know he's in this bush.
Oh, J4 wanted to go with the flag and drag. This is going to be a lot of damage. Velkoz trying to poke away the Cinder so he's not able to join the fight. Set is making his way down here, trying to get more collapse onto this J4. Will he be able to? Yes, he does get the pull back, but the flag and drag going to be able to connect? Not really. Flash has to be used in order for J4 to get away. Will this be enough? Flash forward? No, Cinder able to take down the ward, who was just able to get out of nowhere.
That Syndra pulling off that put in right there, that amazing kill steal. Well, I wouldn't even call it a kill steal, but that amazing play on Syndra's part protecting your Jarvan. That went through very well on that part.
No, flash forward use onto the Velkoz, going to be taken down by the Malphite, picking up another kill. That is 3 kills already to the side of Team Solo Legends. Set surely will fall after the true damage. No! Set able to turn it around, getting the huge true damage proc onto the Malphite. Teleport used as well, and that's going to be Cinder going down as well. So, Katarina Wine Mixer able to pull it back and get some more kills into this match.
We definitely did see 4
early games there. Another crazy early game from both teams, going in favor of Team Solo Legends here, though. But once again, these teams just love to fight as soon as they hit level 2 and 3. They just want to see what they can do.
1, 2, 3, 4 flashes used in those fights.
Yeah, that is absolutely insane. And it's funny to see that the ADCs have more farm than anyone else on the map, considering they get it a lot less than the mid laners here. But it looks like some trade damage going onto the Syndra. Leona trying to make a way through, but the Snare is going to come through onto the Jhin, able to get some damage. J4 wanted to come up here, not going to be able to get the flag and drag because Ashe slows are incredible, even at early levels.
They are pinging for the dive here.
I think that Jarvan was supposed to come in a little bit earlier.
Tarek is so low. Syndra wanting to make her way up here. She wants to be able to get the damage
There's
off, but
one shot
Tarek
from
is so
dead.
close to dead.
So is this Leona, though.
Warwick making his way over to the top lane as well, trying to get some damage onto the Malphite here. Tarek is eventually going to fall. Flash use Ignite as well. That will be Tarek falling down. Is Ashe going to be able to take the kill onto the J4? Yes, will fall. Vel'Koz wanted to use the Bloom Plant to get over, trying to catch this team on the retreat. If he's able to slow down and get some damage, the Ashe is not able to join, though. But that is enough damage from the Vel'Koz to be able to pick up that kill. We are an even 4 kills for 4. Gold lead, only 300 difference now.
That was a very big rotation from Vel'Koz down.
Looking for more still.
Still wanting more. I don't know if you have the damage here, Vel'Koz. This is not good. Force Shock going to be able to connect onto the Vel'Koz. There's no mana from the Jhin to be able to chase. Warwick here to be able to give his mid laner some backup. So Vel'Koz makes it away for free.
Vel'Koz made a huge rotation there coming down the bot lane and picking up that kill. That was very important to level out the levels here. And I do see why he did go in right there at the end. He was trying to pick that off because he had that Warwick to back him up right there, which was a very good move on his part, but he did get out damage and got out of there before he made a mistake.
And a very nice early dragon from the side of Katarina Wine Mixer. Pick up this Inferno to help them in these fights a little bit, get that extra damage that they need to finish off some of these kills.
Yeah, absolutely. And just for some clarification, we do have Katarina Wine Mixer opting to go in on the red side, and Team Solo Legends being forced onto the blue side. Team Solo Legends is up 1, but we do have an odd ultimate used from the Vel'Koz, maybe just trying to get some wave clear here in the mid lane. This wave in the bot lane is absolutely huge. You got to imagine they're going to be able to crash that in.
Yes, the ultimate was a little bit of an iffy play from that Vel'Koz there. I think it's a low enough cooldown, though, where he feels comfortable using it. He does have, as you see here, Syndra just hit level 5, and Vel'Koz obviously has been 6 for a couple seconds now. Does have quite a big XP lead on this Syndra. And even missing most of this wave coming into his tower right now, he still does have the 7 CS lead.
Said wanted to go and use the ultimate suplex, is going to be able to get the damage onto the Malphite, and that will be a solo kill for the top laner of Katarina Wine Mixer. Katarina Wine Mixer is doing what they need to do to be able to get this, to be able to run away with this game.
That was a very risky move by Set again. I know he did have full health on that engagement, but slamming the Malphite under his own tower with the possibility of being stunned under
and
tower.
I think somebody's caught out here. Leona doesn't have the damage, and that's going to be 3 versus 1. Is she able to get away? No, the slows from the Ashe are enough, but is the damage going to come through? No flashes used yet. Jhin trap landing on 3 people, but Vel'Koz is here. Vel'Koz is here to be able to take the damage out. Jhin trying to save his support, who only is 1 hit away from death. That is control ward there as well to be able to deny that vision from the Jhin. Or sorry, to be able to give vision.
If Vel'Koz did have his ultimate there, he might have been able to pick up that kill onto Leona, but as he did waste on the wave mid lane, and he misses a second mid lane wave.
Absolutely,
So
and the
he
Malphite
is
ultimate
losing
going to be
a
used here
bunch
in the
of
top lane. That's going to be shutdown gold going over to J4.
That Jhin plant definitely made a huge difference right there and got that support out of there safely, and he actually did a great deal of damage after it procced on everybody.
Yeah, that was an absolute massive Jhin plant.
Yeah, they sat in his plants, both of them right there on the ground. Syndra's getting poked down in the mid lane. Vel'Koz's ultimate's almost back up, does have the flash.
Yeah, could look to go for an engage here, getting geometried, basically. Mathematics is a factor in League of Legends when you're playing Vel'Koz.
J4 almost has this Rift Arrow down. Warwick's looking for some help on it, but might not find it, as Set is not back in lane yet. The Rift Arrow should go down to Jarvan, but Warwick...
Flash stealing away with the smite, but is going to pay for it with his life. But, I mean, picking up the Rift Herald here, even though it is the first one, that is a huge play. I'm going to say worth.
I believe it was worth as well. That Herald really can make the biggest difference early game, taking all those plates away and giving you not only the gold advantage.
Flash away from this Syndra, even though the Vel'Koz ultimate was used, is able to get into safety. Just one more proc, and that would have been damaged.
Down
but
to 18 health right there.
Ooh.
Wow.
Set wanted to go in on Malphite again with the pullback here. Does have the Haymaker to be able to get that true damage proc onto the Malphite. Oh, but the flash from the J4 wanting to catch onto the Vel'Koz, but able to slightly sidestep the Zenith Blade from the Leona. Warwick able to save his mid laner for just a little bit, but looks like there's going to be so much healing coming in from the J4. Will get taken out with the smite. Leona is going to be able to get away from the Warwick, but wow, Warwick coming up huge for his mid laner, even though he does fall.
I think that was a bit of a misplay from that Warwick, though. I think he should have hit the ultimate onto the Jarvan. It did appear that he opted to go for the Leona instead, but if he went onto that Jarvan, I think his mid laner lives there, and they do pick up the Leona, as well as maybe getting that Rift Herald charge off onto the tower.
Yeah, I agree. Set wanted to go in here for some more trades. Oh, but the damage is... Malphite is staying a little bit too much, but the ultimate is available for Set if he wanted to go in, but... Malphite will just get to walk away and does have TP down, so we'll have to walk, sadly, back to lane.
I would like the Warwick to run top lane right now, though, as they should know the time of this Malphite TP. It's not even halfway back up. They could drop the Rift Herald up here and take this first tower blood, and that's just a lot of gold getting all those plates as well. Does appear he's trying to make his way up here, hopefully drop this Rift Herald. He might not actually even need it.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of damage already onto this tower. Rift Herald will be dropped in order to pick up the first tower blood for both the top laner and the jungler. That is a lot of solo gold over to the Set as well. Jhin ultimate being used. One of the catch of the Vel'Koz. Down land 1 bullet. 2. No, Syndra going to be able to pick up that kill. Jhin basically just, that's a zoning ult, and Syndra able to take out the Vel'Koz, getting some shutdown gold.
Charge here, most likely.
Mike into the charge.
Passing down for this dragon, as Jarvan could take it right now with that bot pressure that they have going on the side of Team Solo Legends.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at Katarina Y-Mixer's Set. He wants to win this game. He is pushing hard, and he is really bullying out this Malphite in this lane, but is taking a little bit too much turret aggro. The ultimate is going to come through and take out the Set. Don't know. That was a little bit of an overstay there. Not really getting enough damage, and then we have a roam coming in from Team Solo Mid. This is going to be a 4v2. No! Tarek, you cannot walk forward there. That is going to be a dead Ashe with the snare landing from the Jhin, and then Tarek surely will fall. Maybe a flash forward. We'll be able to take care of the... No, J4 is going to go in. Vel'Koz trying to get some damage. That's not going to be good. That's going to be Vel'Koz caught out as well. Flash forward used as well from the Jhin to be able to secure that. And Tarek will fall as well. Team Solo Legends falling a little bit short, but Warwick able to clean up this kill. They were losing the game. Katarina Y-Mixer had this available, but Syndra will die now, falling to the turret. Ashe able to get the damage to get the shutdown gold as well. Oh my goodness,
Major
so much
misplays on both teams. Both teams misplaying like crazy here.
Is the blue buff going to be stolen away? Yes, it is. Level up as well onto the J4. Katarina Y-Mixer looking like they were going to be able to take control of this game, but a few misplays allow Team Solo Legends to come back in with the doors wide open.
And also push forward almost 3k gold.
Yeah, and you see Set swapping lanes with this Vel'Koz up here. Now Malphite is full armor, so this Vel'Koz should be able to do some crazy damage to this Malphite. Looking to go in on him right here.
Yeah, absolutely. Vel'Koz is going to be able to get some damage with the Death Ray, but not enough to proc one more ability, and that would have been dead. But J4 winning in the bush for the Tarek. That's going to be Tarek caught out here. Jhin making his way over is going to be caught out by the Ashe, but that's an execute bullet onto the Ashe, going to be able to dissuade that damage from coming through. And now we see a little bit of a reset. Only 2,000 gold separates these two teams.
Jarvan still wants to fight here. He's pinging his way in. Looks like Katarina Y-Mixer is just going to back off, try and farm some here, which they should be doing. See Jhin pick up his Infinity Edge here. Such a huge power spike for that champion. Getting those crits down, especially with his 4 shots.
Yeah, absolutely. 4-shot will do more damage the lower health the enemy is as well. So getting those crits to come in on the 1st through 3rd bullets will be huge for that Jhin.
Yep, and with his 4-shot being a guaranteed crit, the Infinity Edge buffing all crits, that's just going to make that shot insane onto this Ashe.
J4 getting caught a little bit by the Vel'Koz. Slow is going to be able to land, but there are 4 members on the top side for Team Solo Legends. Jhin is solo pushing in the bot lane. If Warwick pays attention to this, he can catch out the Jhin here.
Blue buff does go over to the Syndra, give her a little more sustain in this lane. Looks like she's just going to be laning against Vel'Koz again now, who does still have a level lead on her. not the farm lead anymore. But she does need to be careful, getting rotated on by about 3 members.
And now it's starting to look like a little bit of nerves are coming through for these players because they're playing a lot more safer, a lot more cautious. They don't want to lose this game, either team, and starting to see some of that cautious play coming out. Set wanted to go in onto the Syndra, is going to land the suplex ultimate, but Leona here to be able to stop that. Ignite does come down, and that's going to be huge damage from the Vel'Koz. Able to land the Death Ray onto the Syndra, going to be the leader out. Malphite is here, though. Will be able to clean up that kill. No! Set flash away crucially, but the Flag and Drag is going to come through. Cataclysm Flash being used as well onto the Set, but Set still so tanky with the Haymaker, able to have true damage shield to save him, and the Taric ultimate is going to come down as well, able to keep his team alive, and huge! That is a 3-for-0 for the side of Katarina Wine Mixer. They're going to be able to take down this mid tower and possibly even get more.
What an ultimate by Ashe there as well. Ashe's ult arrow hitting Malphite really did put a huge perspective turn there.
Just a Set coming up huge in this entire game right here. Getting the solo kills top lane, getting a bunch of pressure up there on both of those towers, and right there he pulls a huge ultimate into his E to get the double stun with the Death Ray from Vel'Koz.
Yeah, that was absolutely insane damage as well. And Set crucially being able to live there was absolutely huge. But stun does land. Set wants to go in. He's able to take out 2. This is going to be a lot more damage. True damage coming through as well with the Haymaker. One more auto will take the Leona down. But Set just running away for free again. Warwick wanted to flash in, able to pick up that kill onto the Leona. Malphite and Syndra are both here. But they got to run away because the slows are huge. And it looks like Warwick will fall unless ultimate is available. No, it's on a huge cooldown. But Tara coming through, getting a little bit of shielding for his teammate. That's also going to be Set going in as well. Again, still has the true damage shield. Syndra so close to falling. Yes, Taric ultimate is going to be able to save him. Sorry, that is the Taric Q. Set ultimate used again onto the Malphite, and Set is putting this game on his back, wanting Katarina Wymix to be able to take that. Jhin is here as well. The shield again. Set is basically unkillable, but Jhin able to land the double kill onto both of those players, crucially able to take him out.
That's somebody we've seen in any of these fights recently at all is this Jhin. And he comes in huge there to pick up 2 kills for himself and get himself closer and closer to that rapid fire cannon.
Oh my goodness. It took just a little too much time for them to be able to kill, and Jhin able to rotate, gets those crucial kills, as you were saying. Oh
you
my.
still see Team Solo Legends with the 500 gold lead over Katarina Wine Mixer even after getting all those winning fights.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got to imagine, if this disengage ability, if the Set shield is able to come through, Taric ultimate landed, like we saw in that earlier team fight, I still favor Katarina Wine Mixer in this late game team fighting ability. Oh, but the Leona might be caught out here. The Death Ray is going to land, but that is going to be a flash away from the Leona, is going to have that down, and that's a crucial engage tool for her.
They're going to start up the Dragon here. Jarvan's going to be looking for a bit of a steal, but he uses his flag a little bit early. He's not going to be able to get anything done here, and it's going to be 2 dragons for the side of Katarina Wine Mixer.
Yeah, dragons here used as well. Dragons picked up 2 of them. It will be the Mountain Soul as well. So that's going to provide even more time for the Taric Ultimate to come down if Katarina Wine Mixer are able to pick up this Dragon Soul. And it looks like we do have ourselves a very competitive match going on.
Now we do see Set itemizing towards this, I believe the Rune King. Most people usually go that first. We went the Black Cleaver.
Yeah, I usually see that come through. Bork is
might
going to
be
be
caught
huge,
out
but
here.
Taric might be caught out just a little bit too much. Yes, does fall down, but able to get the ultimate down. Syndra is going to be able to get away for free, and Ashe running so low. Set is now here. Is he going to be able to clean up this team? No, this is a 1v3. Set, I don't think you win that, even with the ultimate. Oh my god, he proved me wrong. Malphite is going to be able to get away. Ultimate used from the Jhin, able to take out the Set as well. Cataclysm used onto 2 members of Katarina Wine Mixer, and Team Solo Legend able to take control of that team fight. That was absolutely huge turnaround for them.
And like I said, that Jhin just came up huge in that fight with his ultimate and those crits. He hasn't been in any of these fights so far, and he's able to basically carry that fight for his team.
Yeah, it's solo execution onto the J4, just staying a little too long onto that
Team
turret.
Solo Legends does not know how to not tank these towers, I guess. Both games they come up with an execution on their side.
Yeah.
That fight just blew the game wide open for Team Solo Legends as they collected some bounties there, and they now have a 3K gold lead.
Yeah, 3K gold lead coming up huge here. I just saw that fight happening in my head, and it went completely different than how it was supposed to be. The Ash arrow missed, and crucially, Set did fall there. So a lot of that survivability was able to be used, and Tarek ultimate used on himself right before he died to Syndra. So just unable to have any kind of presence. That team fight was just so discoordinated from Katarina Mixer.
See here, Jin does pick up the rapid fire cannon and the cloak of agility. So he is going to be huge in these fights right now with this crit. And he's racked up to 70% crit chance.
Oh my goodness, that is so much crit chance. Rift Herald dropped here, probably just running low onto that. Malphite is trying to get collapsed on, but Jin and J4 are waiting in the wings. I don't think they have the damage for this.
Top side with this Baron up, like they should be. I like to see teams playing around the Baron, not just pushing out bot lane as 3 like they have been recently.
We do have a team fight coming in here as well. Set able to go in, take a little bit of the Leona. Ultimate is going to land as well. That is a lot of damage from both sides of the team. Death Ray, though, used in the corridor, able to take out 2 members from Team Solo Legends. And Syndra able to take out 2 as well. Malphite onto the flank is going to be able to land the ultimate. Vel'Koz slowly going to die. Oh, no, the knockup goes through. The fancy feet work, able to dodge a lot, but still will fall to the Jin ultimate.
Ash, though, he cannot find the Ash for the last 2 shots.
Oh, and that was, again, so crucial. The damage was there, but unable to follow up. Team Solo Legends, again, turning this team fight around.
This is what's scaring me this game right now. Ash is not fully online, and they're still forcing these fights in terrible positions as well. And even that Vel'Koz Death Ray turned that fight around what I thought would be perfectly for Katarina Mixer. But even the whole time, that was a 5v4 that they still traded 3 for 2 in. And then Malphite's able to come in and make it a 4 for 2 fight.
Yeah, absolutely crucial there.
This is another perfect example why it's so easy to actually climb with Malphite in lower elo. Is he just, no matter how his early game goes, he's just so tanky and puts out so much damage at the late game.
This is going to be very scary for Katarina Mixer in these fights now, as they are losing them. Like that one was a 5v4 fight that they did lose. Looks like Team Solo Legends has a pretty big Baron control with the vision here. I want to see them play around this dragon, though, right here, because this is getting Katarina Mixer to soul point if they can pick this up.
Yeah, if they can pick that up, then it will be huge for them. Malphite might be caught out a little bit. Is the damage going to be able to come through? No. Is able to get away with his life, and that's going to be crucial for this dragon that is coming up in about 20 seconds. But Set wanted to go in. Flag and Drag going to get J4 to safety, but Set still wanted to go in. Is going to use the suplex onto the J4. That's going to be the Death Ray coming out as well, and that is huge. 2 teammates down for Team Solo mid. Katarina Mixer should have this dragon for free coming up in 10 seconds.
See Katarina Mixer take this dragon and run straight to this Baron, as Jarvan and Syndra are both down for 30 seconds.
You know, I think it was super important there that they got control of this dragon, but I don't think it was worth.
Oh, Leon wanted to go in. Malphite ultimate going to be able to land and pop the mid laner here in the Vel'Koz. Jin almost going to die, though. The true damage not enough to take him out. Red team does pick up the dragon here from the Warwick.
Does not have flash. I want to see them run straight to this Baron here with the health bars being so low on the side of Team Solo Legends.
Yeah, I don't think they'd be able to contest, but it looks like the tower will be the call first. Clean those up, but we do see a TP flank.
TP flank.
Yeah, Syndra wanted to come in.
Champions, though.
Syndra
hasty, I think.
Trying to go in, but the flash forward is going to be able to lock up the stun, but that's going to be so much damage. Tarek ultimate will come through. Ash, are you able to clean up this team fight? Yes, one more auto will be able to take it out, but the Tarek does fall as well. Warwick trying to get something going on, but unable to do so. TP coming through as well. Onto the Vel'Koz. Warwick 1 ability away from death. Vel'Koz trying to come in huge. Wants the damage. Oh my goodness, is able to pop the Syndra. So much chaos going here in the mid game here, trying to fight for this Baron. Set still wants to go in. Flag and Drag going to be used. Cataclysm as well. Leona ultimate, but that is going to be a dead Set. Suplex unable to save him. Oh my goodness, the Ash arrow is landing. Leona is caught out a little bit, but that was the wrong target to land it on. Still, though, it looks like Leona will fall to these slows from Ashe, able to take her out. And still, Team Solo Legends just cannot get their full team alive all at the same time. This Baron should be fully controlled by Katarina Mixer.
Mixer did win these past 2 fights, but I'm still not convinced that the way that they're playing is the most optimal way. They should have, I believe that they should have turned for this Baron and just pushed down these towers. I do not like how much that they are forcing these fights because they're getting so close, and even whenever they're ending the fight, they're still trying to go back in on the low health members on Team Solo Legends.
Yeah, and this gold lead now shrunk to about 1,500 gold, so Katarina Mixer trying so hard to turn this corner. These team fights going so close to even, but either team is just on a seesaw right now.
Yep, we're going to see them push up for this Baron. You see Set, Ultimate, and Warwick, and Ashe are all coming up at about the same time, so they might be trying to force something around here. They can pick off this Jhin. It is a very easy fight for Katarina Mixer.
Tarek might be caught up a little bit here. Malphite Ultimate going to be used onto 2 targets. That's not going to do a whole lot of damage. Ashe Ultimate is going to land onto the Jhin, but able to cleanse that away, so Jhin will stay alive. That is a lot of damage coming out. Set Ultimate not enough to be able to take out the Jhin there, and we're going to see a lot more damage coming through. Vel'Koz, unfortunately, not able to get the damage coming through. Guardian Angel Pot for the J4. Ashe, are you going to be able to survive this? Flash away. Yes! Set going in with huge damage, taking his team fight on his back. And is going to be able to clean that up. That will be Baron. Is that going to be a quadra kill going over? No, Ashe will pick up the ace, but that will be a Baron. And that is a 5 for 2 in favor of Katarina Mixer.
Wow, Set is just enormous in these team fights. And Ashe, as you can see, has her Rune's Hurricane picking up those AoE slows. And they're just destroying these fights now.
I think it's a huge bonus that the Set gets so much health back after his one ability. And it's like, you know, at the end of this fight, he could be very low. He could have about as much health as he has right now and get almost half of it back in armor. So it makes it very difficult for the team to pull back in the fight that they're winning, and then that boost just comes through and it's near impossible to bring it back.
Yeah, we see Team Solo Legends gets a early pick there on that Tarek, but then they still try and force a fight, which I do not agree with at all. These Malphite ults have not been very crucial. Right there, he only picks up a knock-up onto the Vel'Koz, who is pretty tanky against that with all the health that he's built. And Malphite needs to be looking to get some heal with his ultimates, or even trying to pick up the Ashe, not just the Vel'Koz. I don't think that's what they need.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Set, we've seen him come up huge in these team fights, really able to take the Jhin and lock him down, being able to not let him have any damage coming out, because Jhin was a huge factor in the last game. Unable to get a whole lot of damage now, though.
You do see some armor pen coming out from the Jhin here through the last Whisper.
Ashe Ultimate landing onto the Jhin. That's going to be a flash away, so Jhin unable to join these team fights. Set Suplex used, wanting to catch up on this Jhin. That's a lot of damage on him. Tarek Ultimate used, so nobody can die as well. That's going to be a huge team fight cleanup for Katarina Mixer. So Syndra Ultimate used.
To run here.
But still unable to get the damage. Malphite Ultimate does want to go in. Able to pick up. Oh my goodness, damage coming huge. Triple kill onto this Syndra. The cleanup. Oh my goodness, Team Solo Legends able to take out Katarina Mixer in a huge turnaround.
Malphite trolled with his ultimate there. But
Malphite's ultimate.
But that came in huge. That's exactly what they need. Those 4-man huge knockups. Just like that.
That Malphite ult turned that whole entire base of that fight around, and that Syndra ultimate just put out all the following damage. It looks like they're going to be able to pick up this Vel'Koz as well for the ace and take security of the dragon.
This is huge for Team Solo Legends as they take away the Mountain Drake from Katarina Mixer, who are on soul point.
This is
Syndra picks up 4 kills there. She's got about 1,200 gold to spend at minimum.
It was very crucial that they got that dragon to keep the soul out of the hands of the other team, because if that other team would have gotten that, that wouldn't have been very good at all. What
an outplay from Malphite there. As we ask for those better ultimates, he delivers immediately with a 4-man knockup to save the game.
Yeah, putting it on his back, and that was such a clean engage from Katarina Mixer. They had the Set going in onto the primary targets, then the Tarek Ultimate coming down in perfect timing, but Malphite Ultimate is such a huge game changer, able to wait until Tarek Ultimate's gone, then pop him up, Syndra gets free ability rotation, and just gets a triple kill so easy.
You know, I'm still very interested to see how these team fights go.
Oh, there's no way. They're not one-sided at all. They're very even. And you see this gold lead is 300, which is basically nothing whenever you get into these bigger items. You see Syndra looking for the Zonia's Hourglass, though, which is going to be huge to disengage from that set.
Tarek might be caught out again here, constantly being caught out by this team. Ultimate being used from the Jhin, but cleanse. Oh my god, the huge damage from the Jhin onto the Ashe. Cataclysm used as well. Death Ray not going to land enough. That is a huge Cataclysm coming out as well. This is another huge team fight. Warwick Ultimate able to lock down the Jhin. The Jhin will die, but still, Warwick is the only one left. Flash Wave having to be used, but will get chased down with the Malphite slows. And oh my goodness.
An inhib for Team Solo Legends.
Team Solo Legends able to claw their way back with these team fights. Warwick will surely fall, and that will be 2 for 5 for Team Solo Legends.
Are not respecting this Syndra at all. She has the death cap completed, so she just deals massive damage.
Yeah, absolutely. Death timer is not going to be quick enough, so this inhibitor will fall.
That's a very poor performance on Tarek's part being pulled out right there. I mean, you just being the support with the ultimate you have, you are a crucial asset to any team fight, especially at this late a game. It's very, very sad that he got picked out like that. That team fight would have gone a very different direction had he had been there.
People think that Tarek is a tank support, but he is really not. He's a lot better at applying the CC from far away with his chain that he has onto his allies and his heals, and also his ultimate that makes him invulnerable.
Yeah, Tarek just still getting caught out a little too much, and I think that was the tipping point for that team fight as well.
As well as a lot of these fights, as he does have 9 deaths racked up here. He has been getting picked out at the start of most of these fights, able to get his ultimate down usually, but it's only onto the set, if anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. J4 might be caught out a little bit here, but the Guardian Angel is already available again for the J4. So coming up huge, again, able to get that extra survivability. There are a lot of pings going on at the Baron. Team Solo Legends looking to make their looks over there.
You see the Cleanse and Flash are both down on Jhin, so he's going to have to be very careful in this fight. He did get picked out last fight, but he was able to burn both of his sums to save himself a little bit. But this fight, he's going to have to be very careful for it.
With set backing off, if they are able to engage here and pick up these kills without the set being there, that could be huge for the team.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like at any point, Chaos is going to tip, and as soon as a team fight is won, that will be Baron for either team. Because, again, they're still so close. The gold lead only about a little over 1,000 gold difference for the favor of Team Solo Legends.
Now, there's no need for Katarina Winemaker to walk up here. There is no need. The Baron is not up, so they cannot have started
but they still want to go in. The ultimate going to be landing onto the Malphite from the Ashe. Suplex used, able to lock down some targets, but that's not going to be the primary you want to lock down. That's a lot of damage onto the Tarek there. Death Ray used, will be able to pick up the Leona, and there's just so much chaos going in. Ashe onto the backline, able to get free fire. Jhin still alive. So close to death are the Malphite and the Syndra, not able to get picked up there, but Jhin Ultimate will pick up the Vel'Koz, and that was just poor execution from the side of Katarina Winemaker, unable to get the 2 crucial kills onto the Syndra.
The stun for Jhin gets set.
That's going to be...
They can just end the game.
That is so heartbreaking for Katarina Winemaker. They were so close. But yes, I agree. The death timers are huge. Upwards of 40 seconds. This could be the game if J4 makes his way over to the Nexus.
That Jhin played a
Warwick,
huge
if anybody.
role there. I mean, just the outstanding play there by Jhin to snare that.
Yeah, absolutely, and there is going to be no refuge for the Wicked here. Team Solo Mid will be able to take this 2-0 series, and they are the Division A champions for the ESDL. Congratulations.
Wow. What a throw from Katarina Winemaker. They did not need to walk up there at all. The Baron was not even alive yet. And they just walked right into Team Solo Legends' trap and just lost the game because of it.
That was a very ballsy move on both sides of the team. I do put that on the set, though, because the set was the one that charged in and engaged, not realizing that the bush was full of people.
Yeah, and
there's
they were
no
leaving
need
Ashe
to
in
push
the
that.
back line to never be able to do anything. There was no peel for the Ashe ever. She was always getting jumped on by the Jarvan in those fights, so she couldn't deal any damage to anybody. And attacking that Jarvan was doing nothing to him.
Yeah, it was really a sight to see because Katarina Wymixer had the team fight, but then they just crucially had one misplay where Set wanted to go in 1v3 and just wasn't able to get the damage, and that was the turning point because that's when Syndra got her triple kill.
Very much so, and I think that the main thing there was making sure that support didn't get caught outright, and the useless and needless engagements by the Set there really threw that team into the bad position that it was in there. I really think that if Set would have stuck around for half a second and waited for the full team to be there to back him, that fight would have went a little differently with the Terrical and with Set being able to build as much armor as possible with that fight going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, just so heartbreaking from the side of Katarina Wymixer because there was I've seen close games, but they had the advantages, they had the team fighting, but just barely unable to execute. Yeah. Oh, goodness gracious.
For that game, I'd like to give it a case for an MVP to that Syndra. She was able to just sit back there, and I believe she was such a huge factor in that game with how much damage she was able to deal out to her opponents. They did not respect her damage at all with her items.
I'm going to have to agree with you there. I really think that Syndra did have a little bit of a half start there, a little bit of a hard start there in mid lane against that Vel'Koz with the whole entire, autos being a lot farther, a little bit more damage early game, but she did keep her head on her shoulders and played it to the point where she was able to put out a lot of damage and bring it back to the team there. And a big shout out to that Jarvan as well. That Jarvan made a huge difference as well as Jhin.
Everybody, yes. Everybody on the side of Team Solo Legends, I think, played very, very well in those last few team fights that were game deciding.
And I do want to give a shout out to Dryphone as well. Dryphone actually being the jungler for the team. I mean, some of the executions weren't always the best, but he did play a very solid jungle game against the other team. Some teams just have a better, team root, or sometimes mistakes are made. But at the end of the day, he played the jungle very well in both games and did hold his team very well for as long as he did.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%.
Now, are we getting somebody in here for an interview?
Yes, I am attempting to get the mid laner, Pro Happy Camper, in here for an interview. Just trying to get the Discord to work with me. My apologies for taking a little too long.
No worries.
Please don't hurt me. Okay, Rich Pineapple is in. Hopefully he will get into the call. Rich Pineapple, also known as Pro Happy Camper. Oh, and the ADC blowing up in the chat here says, "Thanks for letting me play Jhin 2 games." A little bit of calling out there on Katarina Wymixer and maybe just not banning out that Jhin like they should have.
But very rightfully so. I mean, that is a simple mistake to make after seeing the damage he put out in the first game. I really feel like that would have been a smart ban.
Absolutely. And we are joined here by the mid laner of the victorious team with a clean 2-0 victory over Katarina Wymixer. Pro Happy Camper, tell us, how are you feeling after this championship win?
Oh, it's a championship? Oh, I was just a sub, so it feels good to be a sub and winning a championship.
Oh, great. Lord. So I actually have a question for you. So in the beginning, in the first game, you played Fizz. Your Fizz game started out super strong against Zed. How were you feeling entering that game knowing you were playing against a range champ as a melee champ?
That's a range champ?
Well, as in, like, his abilities are better for the range.
Okay. But yeah, well, I think if I just played it slow and just let him make a mistake, I think I would have come out on top. So that was my mindset. And I think Fizz is a really good champ to counter against Zed if you play it right. So it's like a 50-50 matchup based on skill, solely on skill. So
very well said.
Yeah, and in game 2, we saw that the Taric and Set were able to cause a lot of havoc in those mid-game team fights. But crucially, Malphite Ultimate came through in one of the mid-game team fights when the Taric Ultimate just ended, and you picked up a huge triple kill. Walk us through a little bit of that team fight as you remember it.
It was the turning point where you pulled off your triple kill.
I don't really remember, but I think maybe I just tried to jump onto the Zed and get him out of the game, or Tarek, get him out of the team fight and start killing everyone else. So yeah.
So not only are you subbing for this team, but you also just really wanted to press all of your buttons during these team fights. The last team fight, though, that won you guys the game, both you and Leona were so incredibly low. After you won that team fight, what were the comms like for your team?
Our comms were really like we weren't communicating well during the beginning, the first half of the game, but like after that that turning point, we started like getting our momentum together, and like our comps got more smoother, and everyone started like jumping in, and well, I started shot calling, so that's why. And yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that your shot calling single-handedly basically had the turning point for Team Solo Legends?
Yes.
Well, lots of confidence. You can expect that coming out from most mid laners. I like to imagine that all mid laners, they're able to. Here's a fun joke for you guys. How many mid laners does it take to screw in a light bulb?
One.
It only takes one because he puts the light bulb in the socket and the world revolves around him.
Oh, that's a good one. Nice.
Oh my goodness gracious!
I got one more question for you. So, seeing as the game went very, very well for you guys, and it was a back and forth battle, but at the end it really picked up in your favor, was there any point in the game where you were feeling a little down as if you were going to have to go to a map 3 with this team?
Well, before the game-changing quadra kill or whatever, with the Leona ult and Malphite synergy and like this wombo combo, it was a wombo combo, right? But yeah. So before that happened, we started losing like a couple of small fights and skirmishes, so our team morale was not at the best. So
yes,
after that happened, so yeah.
I had a very, very bad feeling, honestly, in the beginning when you first started losing those little skirmishes and team fights, just for the sole fact that set got so much armor and so much damage out of that. And on top of that, the Tarek ult, I was like, there is no way that they're going to be able to pull this off. But you guys did. You stayed with it. You started shot calling, and look at you now. You're a champion as a substitute.
I just want to say, Set is a broken ass champion with so much damage and take. So I just want to let you guys know.
I think we'll all agree that
we are aware. We are aware of this brokenness coming through. Absolutely.
I do think that the Malphite pick did come in very well for the counter there, though.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Pro Happy Camper, thank you so much for joining us for this interview. From everyone here, man, this was an absolute amazing game to cast. Rylan, Apexis, final thoughts on this series?
You know, I'm going to be completely honest. I expected a little bit more of a closer match. I was really expecting a map 3, both teams being decently highly ranked and very, very strategic. I was expecting a map 3, but I am glad with how it played out. I mean, both games were solid fights. They were back and forth. There wasn't just one team highly favorable to the other. Like, there was no stopping it. It was back and forth. Every team fight was interesting, and it was great to see both teams perform at their peak top performance and play as a team for the win. So congratulations, guys. Sorry to go.
Yeah, congrats,
so much,
guys. It's a great game too to watch. To be honest with you, a lot of fun, a lot of crazy fights there. It's just really fun overall.
Absolutely. Well, again, everyone, thank you so much for joining me. Again, special shout out to my co-casters here, Rylan and Apex. I will one day say your name right. We're going with Hayden for now, but again, appreciate your help. Thank you again so much. And everyone, thanks again for tuning in and giving your team the respective energy that they deserved. Again, we see Team Solo Legends picking up the championship 2 over Katarina Wine Mixer. Stay tuned as well. There will be more games coming up tomorrow at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Again, I'll be your host, Faoline here. Again, thanks so much. And I still don't have a sign-off phrase, so see you later.